Been gone a while. I'm here today to talk about a role-playing game because I was asked in a comment where I've been, and I've been busy, but found the time. Gonna get right into one. I spent so long talking about how much I didn't like 4th edition D&D. Gotta spend some time talking about a game I really do like, and that is Song of Ice and Fire role-playing game by Green Ronin. We have here the Pocket Edition. I also have the DM screen, which is one of the best I've ever had, color-coded by section, and just really nice. Have the main module here to start with, Peril at King's Landing, and also the DM screen comes with a narrator's kit that has an adventure in it as well. Now, whether or not you've ever watched the TV show on HBO for Game of Thrones, or read the Song of Ice and Fire novels, or played the board game, or played the card game, whether or not you've touched on the franchise, the role-playing game by itself is quite solid. If you have done the other and love the setting, then this game is going to be even more up your alley, because it really feels like Song of Ice and Fire to me. When you sit down to make your group, before you make your party, you need to make a family together, a house. So you randomly roll what location you're from, whether you be from the west and the Lannisters are your liege lords, or whether you're from the north and it's the Starks, but it gives you the area that you're from, and you fill out a nice little sheet like this. It's got all your house statistics that you use to buy things for your house, your military units, your wealth holdings, your castles, everything, and then it's got a list of all the PCs and major NPCs. You can do a coat of arms, you roll a history for your house, all the events that happen to it, which will change your statistics, and then as the campaign goes on, your house character sheet will evolve as well. And when you're done, then you can make your individual characters. The sheets look like this. I don't know how accurate that is for the camera, but you can play anywhere from a child to an old man, any kind of character you want. You get your statistics, and everything is lumped into your traits. You notice, like, there's not strength and dexterity separate from, say, swordsmanship. It's all your skills. So it makes it one nice thing. It's a point buy system. You buy that, and then you also can buy, you get destiny points, which you can either save to get you out of sticky situations, save your life, or you can invest them in various traits like mastery with a certain weapon, an animal companion, what have you. And between story arcs, you can uninvest those and hold them back to save for death and the like, or you can invest something different if something's not working out or your character's story arc changes. It's really nice. And there's also different hindrances you can buy, as in most games. The statistics, or the game system, is a D6. You roll a number of D6, keep a certain amount of them, and total that against the difficulty. Hitting somebody and damage is all off one roll. The better you hit, the more damage you do, which I love. The game also has an intrigue mechanic, which allows you to have verbal combat. So if you're trying to convince somebody to betray their lord, you enter the verbal combat, try to get them to do so. It's actually the first and only role-playing game I can think of where you can make a character that literally cannot fight and still have a good time. We have a character in our party who has never made a fighting roll, is not allowed to make fighting rolls because he's crippled and feeble, and yet he's one of the most effective party members. When you get him at a table for a conversation, that's where his strength comes in, and it works pretty nice, I think. If I have any problem with the mechanics of the game, it is basically that people that are heavily armored, and I mean that in verbal combat too, because your armor in that is the more you hate somebody, the harder it is for them to affect you. People that are highly protected but aren't that good at attacking, two people like that can argue or combat each other forever and nothing will ever get done, because they just can't do enough to hurt each other, and so it could stretch on infinitely. So when you have two incompetents like that, is the only time that I think that the mechanics become flawed. The game also has a very extensive section on mass combats that allow you to create warfare battles, and it's very nice. You know, the units, and it changes the scope of the rules for that too. So there's three main areas of the rules: intrigue, combat, and warfare, and they all tie in beautifully. They really do. If I have any major complaints about any of the other stuff, is that the campaign book was not written by people that seem to really know the setting. People like Gregor Clegane, who was supposed to be pretty much the strongest man in the realm. They have Brienne of Tarth, who's a strong female knight, stated better than he is on strength, which is ridiculous. And since they don't, in the points buy, you're allowed to knock your stats down to below average in order to gain more points to put elsewhere. That can be abused, and I would no longer allow it if I were to make a fresh party. By giving your guy a bunch of ones in stats he's never going to probably need, you can make your guy better than everybody in the realm at something. Our party's warrior can beat probably any character in the realm in 1 or 2 rounds of combat, and that's just not fun to me. It doesn't create the right atmosphere of the game. So either if you don't have munchkins in your group, or if you're just going to neuter that ability to do so, then it becomes, I think, a really great game. What else would I say about it? I think that pretty much covers all the bases. Oh, well, the hardbound, as I say, doesn't have all the rules errata fixed in it, but the pocket bound that I have here left off things like the poison cost chart, so things like that will be suspiciously missing, and poison is very effective in this game. So there's that. And the other problem is I've only owned the book for about a year, not even just now a full year. I bought it at Gen Con last year, and already, I can't find the pages, already there are quite a few pages coming out, and I take very good care of my books, so I would accuse the company of making a pretty crappily bound book. But anyway, it's a very good system. It's a very fun game. The setting is to die for, and our group doesn't usually make that long of campaigns. We usually play a month or two, and it seems like things die. This has been going on for over half a year, so I take that as a huge success for around here, and so I would strongly recommend you buy it. I would love to answer any questions you have in the comments section about the game, and other than that, I'll try to make videos more often. I apologize for being gone as long as I have been, and I'll try to do better in the future. Well, mark out, and everyone have a pleasant evening.